What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
What a big week.
I mean, huge.
What a big week. First of all, I don't know if you know this. Go back and listen to that. Sign up for that Patreon Vanessa episode, Rachel episode, soon to be Jen Saviano episode. I know I keep bringing it up.
Oh, you have a Patreon?
Yeah, so many people have listened to it, but I also know how many people listen to this show, and you're missing out. I'm sorry. So let's just get that out of the way. Also, we're gonna bachelor it up big time this week. We have a great episode, by the way, for Ask Nick. Fascinating callers
Today, yeah. Fascinating.
Wow.
There's some good ones in there.
Wow.
We
are recapping Juan Pablo's season. I'm not sure who our guest is going to be. Could it be Charlene? Could it be Nikki, who won? Andy was on that season. It's entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Wednesday, Victoria Fuller.
I mean, a delight. I dare say she's a delight.
I wasn't really sure how it was going to go. I needed to get all the questions asked. I wasn't sure how she might react to some of these questions, but turned out it was pretty fun.
Yeah,
and I think we learned a lot about Victoria, some behind the scenes of Peter's season, as well as dating rumors that might involve.
She was very vulnerable with us, very honest.
And I think it's a lot of fun. So
my cheeks hurt.
Tune in for that. We laughed.
We laughed a lot.
We cried. We didn't always agree.
No.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
I like it when she calls you a shithead.
I think you guys will really enjoy that. So big week for you guys, and you are welcome. How was Montana? How was that dick? Was it good?
Montana was
back?
I'm gonna go back. Yes.
You gonna ride into the sunset?
I mean, maybe.
Are you in love?
No, we're not going there. We're not catching feelings. We're not doing that. Listen, you just gave me the advice to have no expectations and just be chill. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to have fun.
Are you guys generous to each other?
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, we have a great episode for you. Let's just get right to it. Don't forget to send in your questions at asking@castmedia.com, cast with a K. And let's do it.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
Hi, I'm Rose.
Hi, Rose. How old are you?
I'm about to be 29. I'm technically 28 for 2 more weeks, so I'm enjoying that.
Happy birthday. How can I help?
Thank you. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna start with my question, and I'm gonna give the backstory so that it makes sense. But my question is, when is it a good time to tell potential men that you're dating that I have sex issues, and maybe exactly how to approach it? And just to give a backstory about me, you might notice that I have kind of an accent because I am deaf. And part of stuff I also go through is how do you deal with deafness in a relationship. But I also deal with a couple more physical problems, which is that I have something called vaginismus, which is I think a lot of people do have. And it's when you basically have this fear of penetration. And this came from the fact that I was born with almost like this thick wall. Okay, how TMI can I go?
You can go all the way.
Let's go TMI. Yeah. I was born with a really thick hymen. And I did not know this until a year ago when me and my gynecologist decided to block me out in surgery so we could figure out what was wrong. And what we discovered was that anytime a man would try to penetrate me, it would be like hitting a cement wall. Okay. So anytime that it happened to me, it was really uncomfortable, and I started to become more and more fearful of penetrative sex. So that brings me to today, where I'm dating, and I'm it's up and down. But my biggest fear is that I feel like whenever I tell a man about this problem, they immediately are like, "Yeah, that's cool," and then I never hear from them again. And that, yeah. I mean, kind of get it. Yeah, no, sorry.
But so I'm curious, is there a solution to this problem, or is it just something you have to live with?
I solved the physical problem, which is that I got surgery.
Okay.
So I basically, so the gynecologist removed it, and it felt like I had a knife like stabbed me in the vagina. It was great.
Okay.
No.
You were awake for that?
But no, the problem I have to deal with now is more the mental, which is that I haven't taught myself yet, or I haven't had that like bridge with me and a partner where it's like.
Have you practiced on yourself? I mean, I'm assuming, I can appreciate why mentally that over the years you can definitely, it can be a mental block, literally. Yeah. Even though the physical block has been removed, but like, have you practiced on like kind of retrained the old vagina? Not old. The middle-aged vagina, the late 20s vagina to appreciate. Have you? I
have a name. I've named it Vivi after Grey Gardens because she never leaves the house. Yeah. But thanks, Chrissy. But so basically, when you have vaginismus, or thank you, when you have penetrative issues, you actually can go through a dilator program, which means you're taking these different sides of these dilators and you're basically penetrating yourself. So I'm fine for me, like I'm working on it, but my issue is that, like, I'm a pretty sexual person, so when I meet someone, we end up hooking up really quickly, and then I'm like in the bed, and I'm just kind of like, oh, by the way, and that tends to not go well. And then I tried to do it like maybe on like the third date, but COVID has made it so confusing. So. Yeah, I think that's where I'm just kind of like, what's the best way to bring this up?
So just so I'm understanding, right now, your biggest hurdle is more on the mental side when it comes to this challenge for you.
Yes. And trust.
And trust, yeah. So, how long has it been since you've had the corrective surgery?
A year.
Yeah. Okay. So it's. I'm no expert here, so I'm just gonna. I feel like sometimes I really have to emphasize this. So I'm just gonna shoot my shot, but
just do it. Yeah,
give yourself a little time. I'm getting the sense that, I'm a sports guy. If you draft a quarterback, you don't throw him into the game too quickly before he's ready to really perform. And sometimes if you put them in the game too quickly, it can really hinder their potential. They can get in their head. They can, develop kind of bad habits. And so what I'm saying is, I can totally appreciate why you have these mental obstacles when it comes to like your entire adult life, not even knowing that this problem, like developing this kind of mental hurdle when it comes to having penetrating sex with a guy. And, you're in active dating, you want to meet someone, I get all that, but, maybe you're just not ready to go there. I guess, so why don't you just kind of keep trying, take it slow. I mean, if it happens with the guy, fine, but and I don't know, maybe you can't figure it out until you actually have the sex. Like maybe like dildos can only get you so far, game simulation, until you have to get in the game and see how it goes. But is it possible for you to try to get comfortable with it on your own without feeling like you have to have this conversation with guys all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I get it. You want to be with someone who accepts you can open up and talk to, but the reality is, and you've said you've discovered this, like you can be open with a guy and guys will be awkward, and it sounds like you're meeting guys who at least have the decency of not making you feel judged in the moment, like, well, that's fucking weird or something like that. They're like, cool, and then you don't hear from them or something, right? So And I can't say how guys, you want to be like, oh, that sucks. Just find guys who will call you. I don't know. Like I haven't had to deal with it. I don't even know, what I would think. But yeah, do you think you can get to a place where you don't feel like you have to bring this up, especially early on in a dating situation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think something that I've been running into too is that it gets misinterpreted. So the last person I was dating, he took it as more like, oh, you just don't like sex. And I was like, no, I want to work on this problem. It's very important to me. And then I dated a guy who was super into it because he was like a born again Christian. I don't know. He was into it. Okay. Which is not.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I appreciate. Listen, there's nothing better than when you meet someone and date someone and you feel comfortable enough to share who you are. Whatever it is, the fact that you are deaf, the fact that you have these issues, like you want to, I'm assuming whoever your person is, you want to be your truest self around them. Great. But when it comes to dating, you don't have, there's a difference between finding that person and giving everyone a chance you go on a date with to be that person right away. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
This kind of goes back to something I say over and over and over if you listen to this podcast is, instead of being so worried whether guys are going to accept you, spend more time making sure you want to open up to any of these guys, and if that means, and I understand you don't want to maybe go to bed with someone without maybe like a heads up in case like you have again, don't stop worrying about what these guys are thinking so much if you can, right? I don't think you have to tell these guys right away. I don't think you have to read them up. Every guy you even sleep with, you don't have to like give them the 411 that you had corrective surgery a year ago. If you want to, great. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't think you owe it to them, if that makes sense. Because if I'm hearing you right, physically everything's fine now. It's just you're still kind of mentally getting more, having that become a normal feeling, right? So, I mean, do you want every guy to know?
No, I know. I'm actually like on a very different path. I just recently broke up with someone too, so it's been like kind of like I just want to be a little alone for a bit. Yeah, but it's just been very frustrating, and I keep thinking like. I keep trying to I really like what you said about like, just worry about yourself more. Like if they can't accept this, why would you want to be interested in them? I guess for me, it's because I feel like sex is so important for relationships, or maybe I have it in my head and I've been just like let down. I keep thinking this is the issue.
Sure. But that's the thing too, right? Like this is something you've dealt with, right? So you've, I don't know you that well, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that you're making this a bigger deal than it probably is in reality. We all do that with whatever our insecurities are, whatever they are. This is a very unique one, but we always make it worse on ourselves, and we judge ourselves more than anyone else judges us. It's a safe bet, right? So that's why I think just as much as you can, just be patient with yourself. Give yourself some time. Yeah, sex is a big part of any relationship, and you're also only 28. Yeah, you have a birthday coming up, but you have time. You have time to, just slowly get comfortable with this and make sure that you're mentally in a good space so that if you meet the right guy, you don't feel awkward or uncomfortable. And then if you do want to ever bring it up, it's not so much of an issue. You're just like, hey, this is kind of something I had to deal with in the past.
Yeah, I think for me, my issue also has been like, I'm so used to pleasing the other. So that's why I like my most serious relationship, it was one-sided sexually. And so I got into that characterization. That's what I do every time I hook up with someone. And
well, yeah, because you feel like you're in control. Like you can, you become the girl who's like really good at sucking dick. Like you're just not worried about a guy.
Yeah, good for you, girl.
Yeah, which is great. We all appreciate you. But I'm saying but that came from a place of feeling insecure about penetrative sex, right? Mm-hmm. So you owe it to yourself to even things out, right? Even things out. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's always good to want to be a giver, but you deserve to receive affection and receive pleasure, and you have to be comfortable with your body and yourself. And I'm just saying, give yourself some time, be patient with yourself. Don't feel like you have to make up for lost time. Guys, this is amazing. We're staying at home, shopping, whether you like shopping or don't like shopping. It's hard to shop right now with COVID, stuff like that. And so we're staying inside. And the hard part about online shopping, even if you love it, is the returns. You don't know if you're going to like it.
Try it on. You can't even go to a store and try things on anymore.
And listen, as much as when it comes to wearing glasses, how they function is important. How they look is even more important. And we want to try on our glasses. You can do that with Coastal. You go on their website, you put your face on the camera screen, and it puts the glasses on your face. And you're like, oh, damn, I'm fine. Or oh, not my greatest look.
Yeah.
And then you get the glasses that make you look so fucking hot.
Yeah. All the different colors, all the different sizes, all the different shapes.
They have so many options for so many faces.
It's really fun. You can get stuck on there for a really long time.
It's a lot of time. It's a lot of fun. At coastal.com, you can get prescription glasses starting at $9 and with free shipping. Oh my God. And 30 days risk-free returns. That's amazing. They have the most advanced virtual try-on technology. We just talked about it, that you'll find anywhere. With Coastal, you don't have to spend hours at the store or hundreds of dollars. Oh my God. Now through October 31st, they're offering our listeners the best deal they have going anywhere. 50% off your first pair of glasses. That's amazing.
Yeah.
At coastal.com/VIALL. Get free shipping. Try 30-day risk-free returns and 50% off at coastal.com/VIALL. Only until October 31st. coastal.com/VIALL. Some restrictions apply. I've been exercising on my ECHELON for some time now, and I got to say, incredible.
And how cool is that going to look in your new house if you get it? You have a whole little fitness studio.
Soon. Across the country, we're staying home for the greater good. And while we're all learning how to become homebodies with ECHELON, it doesn't mean you have to sit still. No, it doesn't. You can ride a bike and you can cruise on it. Just as little 20 minutes a day, you can get into the best shape of your life and be active with the entire family. With their world-class instructors, they will motivate you with daily live on-demand classes that are available, always available, when you need them. Unlike their competitors, ECHELON is available for everyone. Their EX connected fitness bike is less than half the price of Peloton. Go to echelonfit.com/VIALL. That is ECHELON fit.com/VIALL. Are you seeing any type of therapist or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I when I was trying to figure out this problem, I didn't know what the problem was. I didn't know that it was actually medical. When I first saw a gynecologist in high school, he said I was just scared of sex, which, is some of the problems we have in women's health. So it took another 10 years for me to go through sex therapy, an actual physical therapist. But yeah, I see a therapist every week, and he's great.
So you're still going through this process. And so all I'm saying is, I'm not saying stop having sex and don't, but just be patient with yourself. I think that will help you take a lot of pressure off yourself. And I want to emphasize, I don't think every guy needs to know. That is your story, and your story is yours. And I don't tell every date. I don't go on every date and say that these are my insecurities. Sometimes I'm just like, you seem fine. Other people I want to open up with more. It's no different from you. You don't owe them anything. And then, as from you being deaf, being hearing impaired, how much is that a personal struggle for you? Or are you fine with that?
Yeah, that's a huge hurdle of it as well. And I have cochlear implants. So when you're sexual, my implants tend to fall off, which I don't think a lot of people have that issue. So then the implants get I can't tell you how many times I had to like bury through that person's bed to try to find my ear. And what has happened in the past is I have to put my implants on. So there's like a 10-second awkward phase where I'm just laying there like, hold a second. And then I go, oh, by the way, I can't really have sex. So it's like,
yeah,
the whole thing.
So, I mean, listen, it sounds like you're a sexual person, right? Like you're sex positive. Yeah. That's great. So no, that's awesome. But I feel like, listen, it is what it is. You are deaf. You have this thing, your hearing impaired falls off so fine. But like, and I'm saying, if you want to go have sex. But if you want to wait a little bit to avoid because if you're going to have sex with a guy who you feel a little bit more comfortable with, right, you're going to feel less uncomfortable if something awkward happens, as opposed to hooking up with someone early in the dating process, which again, if you want to, no shame. I'm just saying, how can we try to avoid like these moments where you just feel uncomfortable or this awkward situation and then you judge yourself. You're just like, man, I feel silly or I'm judging myself. And so just, try to set yourself up for success. I feel like in some of these moments, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. We do that sometimes where you're treading water. You're like, you judge yourself and you're just, I don't, and again, I can't relate to having these ailments. So maybe it's just easier said than done, but it sounds like you're just like, you don't want to feel different. And so you don't want to act, and you're not different, but like you have these things you have to deal with. So you put yourself in these situations almost maybe to prove it to yourself, like I can do this. And then this shit happens and you feel a little like awkward or whatever. And then maybe you get in your head about it. Like it's not a big deal for your hearing impaired to fall off or whatever. And I just feel like with the right guy, someone you feel comfortable with, who someone's just comfortable with, is not going to, he'll help you out. It's no big deal. Summer is ending. I'm sorry. Fall is approaching.
It's the best.
Fall and winter also winter. Favorite. I'm sorry, but we need to stay warm and we still need to look hot. And like Jenny Kane is doing that with cashmere sweaters. I love a good cashmere.
Cold weather staples. Here they come.
And I also just feel like I think I sport a sweater very well. I sport Jenny Kane sweaters fantastic.
Well, I have to say this sweater is saving me because this studio feels like it's winter in here most of the time. So it's like 30 below in here right now. So I'm really excited about it.
So yeah, they got the fall and weather staples. You want the sweaters. You want to look like you could just be like carving pumpkins and making pie and drinking hot apple cider at a moment's notice with your Jenny Kane. It's a moment.
It's a moment. But they also have stuff for your home, like pillows, like amazing. They have home stuff and clothes. So it's like a bunch of timeless pieces just for like whenever.
And it's also tasteful and most importantly, incredibly reasonably priced. I love my sweater. It's amazing. Make getting dressed the easiest part of your routine at jennykane.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code VIALL at checkout. That is JENNIKYNE.com. Promo code VIALL. But in terms of sex, I honestly think I'd like, if it's possible, get to a place where you don't feel like you have to sit down and have this conversation. Just so you know, this happened to me. I had the surgery, but it's still a weird thing, and I'm still getting used to it. It's just happened. It's only been a year, and I feel like you just got to give yourself some time.
I don't. Okay, I like that answer. Yeah, it's a different way of thinking for me.
I don't think you should do it. Yeah, and if you do want to say it, do it after sex. Why does a guy need to know? I don't know. Like. Yeah.
Well, my issue is actually I don't trust men really. So like when if it's anything, if it do with fingering, if it do any of that, I immediately like my legs still cramp up. That's the problem. Is there's still a mental and
and that's okay. But just give yourself some time to take it slow. And again, I understand you're sex positive, but you can still. You have other reasons to take it slow. And it's not because sex is bad or whatever, but like, it's okay that you have these mental hurdles to face and, take it easy on yourself. It's just, if we're not ready for things, we can regress. And there's just no point in, trying to prove to yourself that you can do this, give it some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like the baseball analogy. I think that was great. Like, you don't go up to bat if you don't have the right equipment.
Yeah, take some practice swings. Really feel comfortable. So when you get to the plate, you're ready to knock it out of the park, but you need to build up some confidence,
Yeah.
and if you you go in the game too quickly, you can get the opposite of confidence, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. Thank you.
This has been really great. I love that you have a sense of humor, and I think that's great, and I think you should always keep that. That's infectious, but just take it easy on yourself.
Take it easy. Got it. Yes.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right, you're going to be great. Thanks for calling. How's it going?
Hey, Kayla, 31.
Hi, Kayla, 31. How can I help?
Yeah, so I have been dating this guy, I don't know, about 6 months now. And when we first started dating, I just saw girls popping up on a Snapchat all the time. They're my friends from back home because he's in flight school for the military and where I live. Eventually one night he accidentally opened up the Snap whenever we were outside, and there was a girl's tits in the screen. So I'm like, well, that's obviously not friends. And, he kind of confessed to everything after pressuring him and blocked all the girls and promised it wouldn't happen again, yada, yada. So, of course, I let it go because it was, early on in a relationship, about 2 months. I just found him doing it again about a week and a half ago. He left to go move furniture, and I found in his iPad, he's sending dick pics to different girls. We're together 4 to 5 days a week. Whenever we're not, that's when he's sending the pictures. So it's just that I can't get over it, but I just have a hard time letting go. I just have a really hard time understanding why he keeps doing this. What satisfaction are you getting from sending these pics and sexting girls that you're not getting from me?
Your question is, why does he do?
Yeah. Yeah. What satisfaction are you getting to wanting to keep sexting girls that you're not getting from me? Because there's obviously some disconnect there.
Well, here's the thing. It's not you, it's him.
Right.
How old is he?
He's 27. I'm 31.
Okay. So, he's not that young. But who knows? But it's not, the important thing is what you're doing is, and it's pretty common. And you even said something earlier, well, of course I forgave him because it was early. As if, what does that mean? Of course you forgave him because it was early. And in fact,
yeah,
you should have a very short leash early on. Why, you shouldn't have a longer leash early on. Maybe when you're in a long-term relationship and you've invested some time and effort and someone fucks up, maybe then you're like, okay, let's work through this. But why are you willing to give this guy a longer leash early in the relationship where you don't know a ton about him? You haven't invested a lot of time. You haven't really, you're still getting to know him 6 months in. And what you're learning about him is that he's, emotionally unfaithful. He's a bit of a liar. He told the truth when he got caught, but usually in these situations when you get caught, you only tell as much of a truth that you need to appease the person. And then he kept doing it over and over. So he wasn't really sorry. He just was, again, telling you what he wanted to hear. You've decided to, instead of just saying, well, this is fucked up, I don't want to be with someone who does this, you do what a lot of people do, is start being like, your ego wants to prove to yourself that you are enough for him, and you need to do more to make sure, he won't feel the need to get nudes from girls. And one has nothing to do with the other. He has a fixation with, he's collecting nudes, right? And it's notches on a belt. They're little nude trophies, if you will. And he's into it. It's become a thing for him. If you're saying he's getting all these women nudes, I don't know who this guy is or how good looking he is or isn't, but for a guy to have a handful of women sending him nudes means he's actively trying to get nudes. Unless you're dating the hottest guy in the world with this massive cock who's super charming and just the greatest guy ever, who's just flooded with nudes. You know what I'm saying? I don't, guy, I don't care who you are. Guys don't get that much nudes without trying to get nudes. So he's actively asking for nudes. Maybe once in a while, some girl is like, hey, look at my tits. But like, he's the one who's trying to get this. And again, it has nothing to do with you. He was doing it before he met you. He's still doing it now because that's what he's into it. It's a thing for him. And I think with the digital age that we're in, it's become a thing. It's like another fetish that people can have, getting people to send them nudes.
Yeah. And the most recent pictures I found or text messages is like, he's like, oh, I'm about to get in the shower. And he has his like dick hard and he's sending a picture to them. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, why? I just don't understand.
Well, you need to stop trying to understand it and just end the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, your ego needs to just say, you know what? It's not me. You need to tell your ego, like, what, you know, there's nothing you can do to change this. There's nothing nothing to do with you being good enough. This guy could be pick his Hollywood crush. He's still going to want to send his dick to other people. He's into it. He's like, no, I'm serious. He's like, it's a thing. He's into it. And he's into getting these nudes and and maybe he'll get over it. I'm not saying he's like, you know, sick of it, but like, he doesn't want to go for him right now. And maybe he needs to lose someone special like you, who like, I don't want to be with someone who's doing that, you know, and
you're more like an addiction almost
in a way. But again, don't say that because now you can be like, oh, he has an addiction. I can be there for him because no, just let it end this relationship. It's over. You deserve better. It's not about you. You're not doing anything wrong. Stop somehow indirectly blaming yourself or feeling like you're not enough or trying to understand why he does it. He's just a kind of a douchey guy who's into it. And like, listen, if someone wants to do the nude thing, I'm no judgment, but like, do that when you're single and be single and don't try to have a relationship and then try to get away with that. And, you know, so he's a douche for that. You know, he sucks. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, it's just having the strength to walk away, I guess. Is why not?
What are you missing? Like, what's so good about it?
I don't know.
What?
No, I mean, at this point, nothing. It's just like a comfort level. But
is he like the hottest guy ever? Does he tape his dick to his leg because it's so big? Like, what is it? Does he have? What's going on? What's so special about him? Tell me. I'm all ears.
I don't know.
Like nothing.
I guess it's just like the fear of like starting over.
What?
You know,
starting over. You have what are you starting over?
Starting over like in a new relationship.
You live. Put it this way, if your relationship's a house, you live in a fucking dump. And now you have an opportunity to move out of this shitty house with no heat or no water, and there's like termites. It's a piece of shit. You're living in a piece of shit right now. So instead of starting over, think about like, I get to move out of this piece of shit and then look for a better place to live. Like, what are you afraid of losing? You know?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you if you were like, I live in this mansion, it's amazing, but like, it doesn't have a washer and dryer. Fine. It can't, you know, but there's like, what is so special about this guy? Nothing.
Yeah.
He's not even there half the time. You know?
Yeah.
So you're starting over. I'll tell you what, the longer you wait and you know, stay in this shitty situation, you're wasting more. Like every day that you're with him is wasting time. So if you want to, you know, you might as well get a head start.
Yeah, and he's setting his dick around to everybody every day.
Yeah.
I know. I guess that the trust is just like gone, and especially with him being military, like he has to travel a lot. Like it's just.
You're only 31. You're a beautiful girl. You know, you have no reason to think that you're not going to have plenty of guys interested in dating you, and guys who don't want to like, you know, share their dick to the world and collect nudes.
Yeah, typical fuck boys. I know. I've got to do it.
Yeah, but like at this point, again, tough love. It's on you. You know, stop being a victim. You're going to be fine. You're like, make some tough choices. Stop you know, you should be mad at yourself right now for giving him such a long leash early on.
I am.
Yeah, so do something about it. You have a lot of control here. Yeah. You're not a victim here. You're not married. You don't have kids. You don't like, you can leave at any moment. You literally never have to speak to him again. When you get off the call here, you can block him. You can disappear from his life. It's not that hard. And then you can immediately go on a bunch of dating apps and start dating again and get out there. Like, you're in a very fortunate position. So like, stop acting like this is not that hard. Stop telling yourself it's hard. I don't know what to do. I have to start over. You could literally have a date lined up with a new guy tomorrow. In fact, it would probably be pretty, if I said, I'll pay you $500 if you can get a date with a new guy by tomorrow night, I guarantee you could do it.
No, I know I could.
So do it.
Yeah.
And whether, Corona, whatever, it's a walk or a Zoom date or whatever, you could be talking to a new guy by tomorrow. So this, I fear of starting over, the amount of stress that an emotional investment you're putting into this relationship, worrying about like why you're not enough or why is he sending his dick out or why is he getting tits? Think of all that energy. Is that fun?
No, it's not.
Wouldn't you want to so you're worried about starting over. What are you worried about? Like the stresses of a new date?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I haven't really dated more him probably in like 3 or 4 years.
Fine. But I'm just saying
it's just like, just gets point, because I'm just pissed off.
Yeah, I get dating can be scary. I understand it can be stressful.
You're totally right.
It's less stressful than worrying about your boyfriend sending his dick to other people. Worrying if you are enough is more stressful than an awkward conversation with a new guy, or finding out that someone you think is cute didn't swipe on you back. I mean, those are these little things that you'll get over, but what you're willing to accept is far worse than dating.
Yeah, 100%. I owe the respect to myself to walk away. So,
I mean, you have no reason to talk to him anymore. So you should be really mad at yourself if you do.
I am.
So do something about it. Block them. Why? Unfollow him. If you never speak to him again, you will be better for it. And no amount of I'm sorry, I'm different, I promise I won't do it anymore. He's always going to do this.
Yeah.
And if he does change, it's not anytime soon. Years from now. He's not changing for you. And don't take that as a reflection of you. When he ever changes, it's only going to be for himself. And that's going to be after he wakes up and is like, he's going to have to lose something special and really lose it. Not like temporarily lose it while you threaten to leave. Like, you need to leave his life.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I know, but I'm concerned that you aren't going to do anything about it.
Strength to do it.
You do have the strength. Why you?
The thing is with me, it's like, yeah, I just try to give everybody the most. I mean, I don't know. I'm just sitting here making excuses for myself in my head, and I need to just walk away from the damn relationship.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You've convinced yourself that you're the reason why he does this, and you're not. So you have to. You're just scared for whatever reason, and think you can fix it. And
his reasoning for doing it is because he was pissed off at me. I'm like, that's not the way you handle it.
So there you go. Now you've learned something else about this guy. How he handles anger is not productive. Because you are going to be, I don't know whoever your perfect guy is, you're going to piss him off. People piss each other off in relationships. This is how he handles getting pissed off. Gaslighting in nudes.
Yeah. So I'm really pissed off.
So yeah,
hook up with somebody. Yeah.
You know what's right. Just
you're right.
Do something about it. But it's on you at this point. There's no, can't stick.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't know. It's like you have your dog's running around there, and I'm sure it's a really cute dog, but you yelling at your boyfriend and getting him to change is the equivalent of you venting to your dog and expecting some real personal growth and expecting your dog to take out the garbage. No amount of yelling at your dog is going to get your dog to start doing chores around the house. You know what I'm saying? And that's literally what you're trying to do with this guy.
Yeah.
So
I know.
So when you feel this need to try to convince him to change, that it's as crazy as trying to get your dog to like do chores.
Yeah.
So
that's a good way to put it.
So, all right. Good luck.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. How's it going?
Good. I'm Lauren and I'm 24.
Hi, Lauren, 24. How can I help?
So thanks again for taking time to talk to me. I'm having an issue because my family is racist, basically, my dad's side of the family. Just a little bit of a background. I am one of 8 children from my dad. So he has 8 kids, and my mom only has me. I'm her only child. So I live the only child life most of the time, but sometimes, you know, I've been around my other family a lot, but recently I've distanced myself a lot just because of the current events that's going on. And, you know, their posts on Facebook are very anti-Black Lives Matter. They refer to it as equivalent as the KKK. And overall, it's just a really negative environment. And so I really don't like being around them, but one of my brothers is getting married in October. And I didn't even think of it, but he said I could bring a date. So I went and asked a friend from college who is a Black male to go with me. And it was so, I didn't even think of, you know, my family dynamic when I asked him to go with me. And he said he would. And a few days later, when we were talking about it, I realized how my family is and how negative they are towards, you know, Black people and towards, you know, Black Lives Matter and all the things that are going on in the world right now. I didn't even realize how they were. So when I realized that I asked him to go to the wedding and how my family was, I didn't know what to do. So basically, I'm stuck with I just asked a guy to go to a wedding with me who is Black and my family is racist. So I don't know what to do.
This wedding hasn't happened yet, is what you're saying?
No, it's in October. And my family, they are known to drink a lot and break out in a fight at a wedding. It's happened twice.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the last argument at the wedding I was involved with. So I'm already tense with my family. You know, I'm not on bad terms with them, but I'm not on the terms I've always been. You know, it's just.
Yeah. What's your dilemma then? Whether you should bring your date or not.
Or I don't know how to tell him how my family is. So my question is, do I tell him how my family is and say, this is the dynamic. You can choose to come if you want. I won't be offended if you say no. And if he does say, I'll still come, then how do I tell my family that who my date is?
Who's this friend? How close are you?
We went to college together. I wouldn't say we're super close, but
is this someone that you like? Are you friends? Are you hoping for something more? Is this like someone you're interested in?
Yeah, definitely someone I'm interested in. We went to college together. We were a thing. And then when we graduated, I moved away to Houston. And he and I have like chatted here and there. I visited Florida where he lives, where we went to school together. And we've hung out plenty of times. We chat here and there. And, you know, we say, oh, we should visit each other and stuff like that.
So this is a long distance relationship.
But it's not a relationship. It's like, it's a thing.
A relationship in a sense that friend or romantically, it's a relationship of some kind. You might not be dating, but it's a long distance relationship in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely shouldn't bring him to the wedding. It's kind of a no-brainer. You know, in a sense, like, listen, maybe, you don't think about these things. And so he might've been the first person you thought, oh, I want to get to know this guy. How about in general, a wedding is a pretty big first step for someone that you might be interested in, but aren't in a relationship with. So that alone, regardless of this other, aspects or situations that are going on with your family being who they are and the and your date being black. Yep. Yeah. It's all right. Like get to know this guy. If you want to pursue this guy, then take it slow, get to know him, have conversations, fly out to see him. Don't invite him to a wedding where like people are talking about marriage and relationships and then they meet not even just your family, your extended family. And it's just like, that's just a lot of pressure for any relationship. It's a big step. Certainly not the first step. Yeah. So that alone.
I didn't necessarily ask him. That's
you didn't ask him. What do you mean? Ask him.
So what happened was, it was like, I guess I was like playing a game. I got the invitation and I took a picture of it and I put it on my Snapchat story and said, now accepting applications for a wedding date.
Okay.
And being like playful.
He was like,
I'll
go.
I'm sorry.
And he was like, oh, I'll go. And you're like, really? And then like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. And I wanted him to like slide up and say something because I like him. And, so when he did say I'll go, I jumped on it and I was like, yes, let's do it. Yeah. And then it took a while and I'm so disappointed in myself for not even thinking about it.
I wouldn't make too much a big deal about it. Even just hearing that story, that makes more sense kind of that it happened in this kind of fun and playful, organic way. Right. Yeah. Fine. And if your family wasn't racist and dramatic and unpredictable when they drank, then maybe while unconventional, maybe you guys go as friends and something happens, even though maybe a wedding's not a great first date idea. But this is the situation. So like your only choice is just to level with him, right? Mm-hmm. And just say, hey, can we talk? And you say, can I be honest? I want to get to know you better. I do. You don't have to like confess your love, but just be a little bit vulnerable, right? But just say, I also have to tell you like, this is who my family is, and I have my concerns and I can picture it going really badly if you come for these reasons. I know they have racist points of view. And even if they sometimes can hold those points of view inside, they're also heavy drinkers and incredibly unpredictable. And even when, it just, it can go really badly. And I don't want to put you in that position because I do like you. So can we keep talking? And like, these aren't people I really, it sounds like these family members are like, they're family. So you're there, but they're not like a big part of your life. Is that safe to say?
They're half siblings. Yeah. They're half siblings.
But if let's say
I've always been the outcast too.
Fine. But let's say you get to know this guy, you fall in love with him, you guys are in love, you want to get married, you could have a happy life with him and be like, well, these people, they're not really part of my life. Right? It's not as if you're like, I'm so close with my family, but my family is racist and I'm in love with a man of color. You know what I'm saying? Then you're just like, oh, how do I don't want to choose. Doesn't sound like you're feeling like you have to make a choice here. This is just like, yeah, they're family. I got to go to this wedding and like, whatever. So I think you just level with him and you just be honest. And, I would say like, I just don't like, if I were you, I wouldn't give him the option. I would say, I just don't think it's best. Go dateless, just get through the night.
Yeah.
And because if he's just like, well, I want to go and fuck them. And then you're just inviting more drama. Like deep down, that this is potential drama. So just don't bring it. And especially if these people aren't like playing a big role in your life, then like there's really no reason to start off a relationship with this guy with a potentially toxic atmosphere. So you just, again, apologize, just be like, you know what? I do like you. And that's why I don't want you to come because I like you. And I want to spend time getting to know you. And like, this is my family, but I'm not that close with them. And they're not really a big part of my life. And I'm just going to go to this wedding and get it over with. But can we keep talking?
Yeah.
I think it's your best choice.
Yeah. I just don't want my family to even ruin. I don't even want to go back to him and say, well, this is how my family is. He'd be like, ooh, that's how your family is. Like, I don't want anything to do with
that's something you have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
How you handle it, if you handle it in a mature way. And again, for him, like, I don't understand. I can't appreciate the pressures of a black man, right now. And I understand he might want to remove himself from that environment. And he has the right to, but this is the reality of the situation. Right. And so, He might not, though. I mean, I don't know this guy. Safe to say it's not the first time he's experienced racism in his life, right? So, like, you know, it might be another day for him, unfortunately. So just level with him, be honest with him. You know, these people, these family members are not big aspects of your life. You know, their beliefs aren't in line with yours, and you don't have to, on a daily basis, have to have this confrontation, because they're just not really involved in their lives. But, you know, it's your half sister, so you're going to go to the wedding, you're just going to like deal with it and just separate the two. Yeah. Like, definitely don't combine them.
I know.
Right?
I know.
I mean, let me ask you this. If you got married to this guy and none of those people went to your wedding, would you care?
Oh my God, I probably wouldn't even invite them.
There you go. Right? So that's the sense I'm getting. So like, there's no reason why you need to like have the first time you spend real time together with this guy, be with these people you're not even that close with.
I know. I mean, I'm close to them, but just not right. Like when I say I wouldn't invite them to my wedding, I obviously would, but I probably wouldn't allow them to drink.
But you get what I'm saying. You know?
I do. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah.
There's just no real upside here, and you just have to level with them and give them a chance to want to still get to know you despite this. And he might not, and that's up to him. But this is going to end really badly if you ignore it and then bring him along and see what happens.
Yeah. And my friends are just telling me, well, tell him you can't bring him because of COVID.
Don't lie to him.
But I don't want to, exactly. Lying is not, that's just an easy way out, and it could get back.
Be upfront with them. Be vulnerable. You know, you know, it's in October, and you have time. Yeah, don't wait till the last minute. Just tell them now.
Yeah.
Be like, honestly, I was really, when you responded, I got really excited because I do want to get to know you. Be vulnerable that way, and I didn't even think about the fact that what I was saying yes to, and I have some real concerns. And quite honestly, like I'm not aligned with them. I'm not even super close with them. And I think my family's at least these people have some racist points of view, and I just don't want to, and I like you, and I don't want to, and just be honest. Definitely don't lie.
Yeah.
Because if you do start something with this guy, they still are your family. It is a conversation you're going to have to eventually have to say, like, there are people in my life that I don't agree with. You know?
Yeah.
It's not the first time he's dealt with racism, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And they're not very like positive towards me anymore because of how I disagree with them. They say, of course you disagree because of the way you grew up and blah, blah, blah.
Well, they wear that with a badge of honor, you know?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely avoid the drama, you know? And just be honest with this guy.
Okay. Will do.
All right.
All right.
Well, best of luck. Take care.
Thank you so much.
No problem. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's your name?
I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How old are you?
29.
How can I help?
I need a lot of help, but my father. So my father, he has like a giant heart. Like he's the most emotional human being like I've ever met, for better or for worse. But like sometimes I don't think he knows how to like read his like actual genuine feelings, and like I feel like he like acts out on like short-term emotion. So he recently went through like a self-induced breakup that he initiated, and shortly after he wanted to get back with this lady, and we're like, me and my sister were like, wait, Dad, like weren't you the one that wanted to break up, and you were like so stoked about breaking up with her? And then he was like, yeah, but I think this was like, kind of a stem from COVID and this and that. And so we were trying to talk him through it. And, I initially wanted him to come on here to kind of talk through his thoughts, but he didn't want to do that. So, and then come to find out, like a couple weeks after the breakup, he writes this person like a 12-page letter, like confessing all of his feelings.
Was it really 12 pages?
It was 12 pages. He told me he wrote her a letter, and I was like, okay. And then my sister told me that he told her it was 12 pages. So I'm like, you need to give yourself like some time,
How old's your dad?
62-ish.
Okay.
He was born in 1956.
So
whatever the math is.
so he's my dad's age.
Perfect.
He's writing 12-page letters. Just what was he? Was it like
after the breakup?
Was it about his entire life? Did he like cover all his relationships?
He's a man of many words. I took after him. We're not very good at being concise, but he has it a little worse than I do.
So what's the problem?
And
I mean, other than the fact your dad's long-winded and highly emotional.
Yes. So the problem is this isn't the first time that he's broken up with somebody.
It's like a 16-year-old girl.
He wanted. Yes. And then like he like changes his thoughts. Like he had this other ex where he broke up with her. And then like he told her, yeah, this is over. And then like a month later, he was like, I've really thought about it. I know that you're the person for me. Like we need to get back together. And they got back together only for him to realize that he was right in the first place and didn't want to be with her and then broke up with her again. So I just feel like I don't know. I feel like it's not fair to the other person, but I also feel like I don't know. It's like, he's not giving him what he needs to actually like form like an actual like true thought.
How many times has your dad been married?
What was that?
How many times has your dad been married?
Just once.
And how long has he been single for?
Oh, just once.
No. How long has he been single for?
It's been like 8 years.
Okay.
Oh, 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had like girlfriends in between, but from marriage, 8 years.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's a real problem here. I mean, certainly it sounds like your dad, I guess we expect our elders and people in their 60s to know exactly what they want and make sense with all their life choices.
Yeah.
But this is like a new stage in your dad's life, and who knows kind of thing. He's combining kind of his old school writing letters to like his processing his new feelings. I mean, let the guy live. I don't know if there's a real problem here. I mean, yeah, like certainly, stop writing people 12-page letters. They don't have time for that shit. Like, how old's his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend?
She's she has kids in like high school, so I think she's like in her late 40s, like early 50s.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
What does your dad want? Does he want to get married again? Does he just want to fuck around?
That's a really good question. I think part of him wants like a companion, but then like a lot of him like really likes like his independence now. So I think he doesn't know. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Other than I'm sure your dad, being highly emotional might vent to you and open up to you. That doesn't mean he thinks there's a problem. It sounds like you think there's a problem, but there might not be a problem. Maybe your dad is just enjoying the drama at this stage of his life. And to be honest, it might be, he's got kids. You seem to have a good relationship with your dad. So he's got that knocked out of the park. And maybe just a little drama that it's non-committal might make him feel young and exciting. I don't know. And all these things he's doing, writing letters and worrying about maybe he wants her back or not, in a way is kind of maybe exciting for him. I don't know.
That's fair.
If he, he's probably not his girl, and he's just having think about all the times that we just got ourselves in drama early in our life. And it might have been a lot of things, but it wasn't boring. And
yeah, he's not a boring man.
So he's just keeping it fresh and exciting. He's not trying to settle down. He's already done that. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're meeting someone who's at a stage in their life who's like, oh, I want to have kids. And they're still like making bad choice after bad choice, not setting themselves up to like, and that's why I ask, well, what does your dad want? Maybe your dad just wants to golf, have some sex, get into these relationships, have some friends to like, Netflix and chill, go on some dates, go into Airbnb, break up, find someone else, who knows? Tell someone he loves them again, only to realize maybe he doesn't. Like, it's all drama and it's all fine and it's all fun. Like, it keeps him entertained.
That's fair. All right, fine.
He goes,
let him be.
In like 15 years, you can go to a retirement home and sleep with half of the women there and get syphilis and
Thinking of like
syphilis is pretty common in like
old age
senior living because no one's wearing condoms. And I'm just saying,
that's a fun fact that you know right there.
I've heard that.
I'm just saying, what's the real problem here?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I care so much about his dating life. Maybe I shouldn't. I mean, I don't even like live in the same state as him. So I don't know. Maybe it's like the one little piece that I could just feel connected to him. I don't know.
Yeah. So I think you're fine.
All right, fine. We'll let him. You were supposed to give me a bunch of wisdom.
I know. Sorry.
But I guess this is it.
It is good wisdom. Let him be.
I like a how-to. 1, 2, 3.
I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, okay. Have some fun with your dad. I mean, it's cool that you can talk to him about this stuff, right? But unless, I don't know if there's a real problem here. You know, he may get back with this girl. He may not. Either way, he's going to be fine.
Maybe I'm the dramatic one then.
Maybe you are. Maybe you both are.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, what's the if there has to be if there's a problem, like, what is your dad trying to accomplish? And if all your dad is trying to accomplish is to have an exciting dating life and meet, and then sounds like that's what he's doing.
All right. That's fair.
If your dad was like, I want to have one more kid before I die, then I would be like, well, let's tighten it up, but he's not saying that.
I would, thank God.
So
I would die if that happened. Yeah.
Unless you're having some kind of daddy issues with the way he's treating women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think he's good for the most part. He's a little selfish, but I mean, he knows that about himself at least. So he doesn't make that like a secret. So all right.
It's going to be okay.
Well, thanks. All right.
Best of luck.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you on Wednesday.